Hello, Michelle. How are you today?
I'm good, Lindsay. I was just on vacation, guys. I was on a cruise with my family, so now I'm excited. I'm refreshed.
Yay.
I'm super happy to be back and recording with you, Lindsay. How are you?
Good, Michelle. I'm glad you're back. We took a week off, but it's always good to get right back into podcasting. But Michelle, I want to talk about laundry today.
Yes.
We're coming back into this part 3 of our laundry series. Who knew that such a mundane topic could be so applicable?
It
Right?
is. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So what is your question?
Well, Michelle, do you tend to fold your laundry before putting it away? Do you do that?
I do like a semi-fold. I mean, I did have a moment where I read, remember that Marie Kondo book?
Oh yeah, that was hot for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, so I read that, and so I learned how to fold from her. So I got really excited about it at that time, and then I can't keep that up. Just today I was putting away some laundry, and I don't know. But it's funny because it is kind of timely that we're talking about this today, because on the cruise, I didn't want to do laundry. You have to pay extra for that. So it's hard to know how much to pack, especially with the kids.
Right.
So we have a lot of laundry to do right now. Do you fold your laundry before you put it away?
I kind of half fold it, but some of the stuff is going to get hung up anyway, so I don't even see the point. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm not the most thorough laundry folder in the world, but so I'm excited to get into this today, Michelle. But there have been 2 other episodes in this series. What were those episodes?
Yeah. So guys, part 1 was here on the All Ears English podcast. It was episode 2478. It was Laundry in English part 1. Don't shrink your clothes. And the second one, Lindsay, that wasn't on this podcast. That was over on our other podcast, the Business English podcast, right?
Absolutely. That was episode 468. And you guys should definitely be over there if you don't know about Business English. That is where we talk about all things related to English and our careers. So go and type in the search bar Business English and hit the follow button over there. And again, that was 468.
468.
Right?
Yeah. Laundry in English part 2. What's on your to-do list? So definitely check that out. So today is part 3 and our final episode of the laundry series. Guys, remember to hit follow for sure. Today we're going to talk about how to connect over laundry. We've been talking, Lindsay, about these mundane topics. Even you did an episode with Aubrey about connecting over about charging.
Right. But it was so funny because these are some of the best episodes, because as we go deeper into these episodes, we realize this really is a connection topic, because these are things everyone does, and everyone maybe encounters someone while they're doing it. It has a chance to build a connection. Right.
It's those ordinary, mundane parts of life that everybody experiences, so it can lead you to a lot of connection. So a lot of times people connect over the amount of laundry they have, right? Especially with kids or pets.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. It's crazy. Like, we don't even have kids, and it feels like we're constantly doing laundry in our house. I can't imagine what it feels like for you, Michelle.
Yes, it's just wild, especially in the summer when they're going to camp and they come home with wet towels. Even today, because they're home from school, they go back to school next week, and they had friends over, and they decided to play it with the water hose, and they got everything wet. And so then all of a sudden my laundry pile became higher because everything was wet.
Oh, I can't imagine. Jeez.
Yeah, but they had a good time, so that's okay. But I mean, some people vent about doing laundry, or they talk about their laundry habits.
Yeah. By the way, what does vent mean? That's a great bonus for today. If our listeners don't know, Michelle, what is that?
They just kind of talk about it or complain, or they I have so much laundry to do. It's laundry day, right?
Kind of like commiserating or complaining.
That's a good word. And this would usually come up if somebody says they have to do their laundry, or they had to spend the weekend doing laundry. So let's talk more about this. So a couple of the connection topics, I would say the first one is just when, right? So they might talk about when to do their laundries, weekends, or how often they do it. So I mean, Lindsay, would you say, do you have a laundry day or do you just do it as it comes?
Yeah, so I'm not the person in my house that does the laundry. So luckily,
that's nice.
I know I get a pass on this. Maybe those responsibilities will be flipped and will be changed soon. But
yeah,
so
maybe.
I think, we do laundry at different times throughout the week. I think it's not just done on one day. It's kind of a rotating schedule. Right?
Yeah.
It's not really a schedule. It's just as needed a few times a week. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think mine is almost every day or almost every day.
Yeah. Every day. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So again, like I said, in the summer, definitely every day. But what are some things, some expressions or some things that you can say to someone to connect over this when you do your laundry?
Yeah. I mean, what you just said, I pretty much do laundry every day, or I feel like all I do is laundry. I love that.
Yeah.
And we could insert anything there, right? I feel like all I do is house cleaning, or, I feel like all I do is picking up the kids, something like that. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or you could say something like, I can't believe how much laundry there is in my house.
Mm-hmm. Or you could say the laundry just piles up so quickly around here. I remember I did have a designated laundry day when I lived in New York because, as we talked about in the other episode, you had to go to the laundromat. I think you said you had a laundry machine, right?
In the common space.
In the common space, yeah. I think I always did it on Sundays. Just went down there, hung out in the laundromat. Yes, the New York. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So another thing you could connect over is how you do it, right? Mm-hmm. Or I'm way too lazy to separate my laundry. So we talked to Lindsay. We've talked about on the other episode about if you separate your laundry, if you put the whites together, the delicates together.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's even come up in previous episodes too. And that was a connection moment for us, I think, because we were both, I think if I'm not mistaken, we both said we're too lazy to separate. We don't do whites and darks. We just put them all in. Is that right? Yeah, no.
Yes. Sounds like we have very similar laundry habits. Or you could say something like, oh, I like to do my laundry all on the same day, folding and all. So some people are very meticulous about it. They're going to be organized. They're going to get everything together. When I first moved into my house, that was who I wanted to be. I'm like, I'm in a new place, new habits. We're going to start it all. And I would just every day fold and put in and fold and put in. And
it's a good aspiration. And then
it is. And then it fell apart. And now I have a giant pile. Well, this is funny. The next one is most of my laundry winds up on the floor. It's horrible. You can tell that I wrote this episode because that is true for me.
I love it. I love that. So good. So the key here, it's not so much the content here, exactly what we're saying. It's, who are we around and can they relate to what we're saying, right? That's how we build those connections. Maybe we make a friend down at the community laundry space or whoever we're around. We have to voice what's going on in our laundry lives, Michelle.
Exactly.
Okay, so there are quirks that could always enter this conversation, Michelle, right? We all have our own weird quirks. What would be an example of a quirk, a laundry quirk?
Right. So for me, ever since moving to more of a suburban atmosphere where I don't walk everywhere, I'm always thinking of how can I get some extra exercise? Yeah. So instead of folding all my laundry, just taking it up in one load and folding upstairs and then distributing it, I fold everything downstairs so that I can get exercise bringing it upstairs.
Okay. I like that. That's very strategic. Yes.
What about you, Lindsay? Any laundry quirks? Anything funny you do around laundry? But you don't do the laundry.
Well, I do help fold it though. When it's done, it goes on the bed, and I do help fold it. So I would say, sometimes I do have mismatching socks. That's just a symptom of who I am. Like the other day, we took our niece and nephew to Lava Land, which is just a play area. We were babysitting for them. And of course I took my shoes off. I'm like, oh, my socks aren't matching. Look at that, and it's like, you're usually exposed, so when you're somewhere where you have to take your shoes off when your socks don't match.
Yes, exactly. And I'm proud of that. And my kids also don't have matching socks.
It's totally okay, Michelle. It's totally okay.
Yeah. So let's throw out a few good laundry conversation questions.
Okay.
One is just how often do you do laundry?
Yes.
So we've already talked about that.
And I have another one I want to throw in here. Do you iron your sheets?
Sheets.
It's a good question because I feel like there might be a little cultural differences going on here. We may have to do a survey question here because I know that I've heard hearsay of friends that have studied abroad in different parts of Europe where the sheets were getting ironed.
That
sheets
is
and even underwear
commitment.
were getting ironed. And I definitely don't do either of those things. Do you, Michelle?
No, absolutely not. I didn't even know I had an iron in my house until my mom found it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, so we are in the no category for that. But I do wonder around the world, what are the norms for what gets ironed, what gets washed in certain ways, what gets folded, right?
Yes. I know we're starting to get a little tight on time, so I want to move on to the role play in a minute, but just I will ask you one more question is do you ever avoid buying certain clothes because of how you think they might wash?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because sometimes I just have no idea what to do with it. I don't even understand the label, frankly. And so I just think I won't be able to handle this owning this piece of clothing. It's too nice for me. Let's go back to cotton, you know?
Do you ever avoid washing something altogether?
Yeah. I mean, I think sometimes I try to make things stretch, especially nicer business oriented clothes.
Yeah.
Like if I go to a conference, I could think, oh, could I do one more day? You know, next conference, you know, what could I do here?
Yeah, exactly. Because I will do that to avoid messing something up.
Right.
So,
because it always looks worse, honestly, after you wash it. Right? Yes, it's true.
Yeah. On the cruise, I had a couple dresses that I was wearing and I'm so torn because they were new, so I hadn't washed them yet. And I like to wash things because I don't like the idea of then, they were, you know, but I know that that's the last time I'll ever see them like that. So I'm trying to decide.
Yep.
Anyway.
It's true. Oh gosh. All right. So this is a great topic that lends itself to a real role play. So shall we dive right into it, Michelle?
Let's do it. So here we are, just friends talking about our weekend.
All right. So how was your weekend?
I just spent so much time doing laundry. It was completely piling up.
Story of my life. I feel like all I do is laundry, especially in the summer.
Completely. I can't believe how much laundry there is in my house. All the wet bathing suits and towels. It adds up. That's why most of my laundry winds up on the floor. It's horrible.
I'm good about folding, but honestly, I'm way too lazy to separate my laundry.
Oh, I never do that either, Lindsay. And I never fold anything, especially socks. That's why I always mismatch my socks.
You're too funny. Nice. Yeah. I mean, and this is the cool thing is, you know, people connect over imperfections, right? Which is something we talk about, connection, not perfection here. People are imperfect in the way they live their lives. And that's the beauty of people. And that's where we find the connection moments. So we're revealing a lot of the things about ourselves here, Michelle, that, you know, we're not perfect. Who is? Right?
Yes, exactly. It shows you're vulnerable, maybe a little self-deprecating. So it's good stuff. So, so I just talked about in this role play, I said the laundry was completely piling up, which that's a really good one you can use to pile up.
Yeah.
Right? You imagine this mountain of laundry.
And then I agreed with you, or I resonated with you, not by saying, oh, me too, by saying a bonus phrase for today, story of my life. And that's a whole other episode that we could do on that one, Michelle, right?
Exactly. So guys, hit follow because I will be planning it.
Ooh, can't wait. So we'll get to that in the next episode when we come out with that. But basically, I'm just saying me too is what I'm saying, right? Yes, me too in a big way, in a major way.
Yes.
And then I said, I feel like all I do is laundry, and I want to punch the all I do is laundry. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then I said, I can't believe how much laundry there is in my house. And then I said, that's why most of my laundry winds up on the floor.
Yes. And then you said, it's horrible. And then I said, I'm good about folding, but honestly, I'm way too lazy to separate my laundry. So everyone has kind of a line, right, between what they will do and what they just won't do. And it's interesting to compare the lines. Right?
Exactly. And then I said, I never fold anything, especially socks. That's why I always mismatch my socks.
Yes. Love it. Look at this topic. Look at how we can connect around such a mundane thing.
Yes.
But the relationships that could come out of the connections and the conversations won't be mundane, right?
Right, because you're getting kind of a behind the scenes view into somebody's normal daily life instead of this formal, now we're going to talk about this, right? It gives you a little peek into how, and you can learn a lot about somebody about like when you're talking about these topics.
100%. I love it. And that's the takeaway for today. I mean, don't overlook these, while we're busy preparing for exams or worrying about business English or these important things. Don't forget these little moments of connection. And I bet if we look closely, we could find 20 or 25 of them in our everyday life, waiting for the bus, being on the train. There's so many of them. We'll try to cover more here in the fall. Right, Michelle?
Exactly. All right. Awesome. And guys, remember to listen to those other episodes, All Ears English 2478, Business English 468. And of course, you have this one.
Yep. And hit the follow button so you don't miss a single episode in any future series. All right, Michelle, you take care. Talk soon.
You too. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.